It's tough finding gifts everyone will love. Turns out not everybody wants a blanket with sleeves. Go figure. But when you switch to AT&T, you get $300 credit for trading in your smartphone. And with the latest devices in stock, I knew I could stock up on great gifts, like the Nokia Lumia 950 with Windows 10. I even saved enough for a stocking stuffer of my own. And it's not a blanket with sleeves. AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Limited time, each $300 requires a port-in, eligible purchase, activation, and trade-in. $100 bill credit within 90 days, $200 trade-in credit or promo code. Taxes, fees, restrictions apply. See store for details.
Welcome to the Storytellers Campfire radio shows, where we share knowledge, experiences, and pass stories from one generation to the next at our global campfire. We have a nice warm campfire going in the background to warm us up a bit, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to XRQK and KNJO. This is Lady Selah SuJuris, and I'm hosting for our Author's Voice program on Storytellers Campfire. Today, our feature presentation is going to be with the celebrated author and novelist, Tanya-J-Peterson. She'll be joining us in just a few minutes. Storytellers Campfire radio shows are pretty well known for having a global audience. And occasionally on our programs, we like to share where listeners can tune in to the broadcast. So today I'm going to provide a short list of some particular territories. Airtime America, located in North America, Canada, and the United States, provides our broadcast through satellite and some private IP distribution. AV News Talk is located in Lancaster, but covers the Palmdale, Santa Clarita, Victor Valley, Apple Valley, California City, Lake Elizabeth, and Lake Hughes territories. KNJO is in Thousand Oaks, but they cover Westlake Village, all of Ventura County, Agora Hills, Lake Sherwood, North Ranch, and Oak Park. XRQK in Bakersfield covers the Tehachapi in Kern County and is also covering the Amtrak California San Joaquin Trail. In addition to that, the Mojave Spaceport. XRQK in Bull City, which is Flagstaff, Phoenix, can be heard in 2016, covering the Laughlin territory, Nevada, Kingman, Mesa, Sedona, Scottsdale, Tempe, and Tucson. And again, in 2016, you'll be able to hear the XRQK station in Las Vegas, covering Reno, Lake Tahoe, Carson City, Fallon, Elko, Ely, Sparks, Truckee territories. XRQK Los Angeles covers the Palm Springs area, San Diego, Beverly Hills, Burbank, Brentwood, Glendale, Pasadena, Santa Monica, Nassau's JPL territory, LASD, LA City Hall, KTLA, and Paramount Studios. Now, XRQK is our media group that we work with, and they have over 220 stations that can pick up our shows and air them. So we hope that you have the opportunity to hear the shows on one of these stations that are in your territory. But if you have not or are not connected to one of them, you can always go to storytellerscampfire.org, and right on the home page, we have direct links to the broadcast in every show that we air. We're going to take a brief commercial break, and then we'll be right back for our feature presentation and our special guest, Tanya Peterson.
More than 1 million wild animals are killed each year illegally. Poaching is a major threat to our country's wildlife. I'm Tom Barry. I'm an actor with a desire to preserve living space for wildlife. The Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust does just that. Works with private landowners to protect wildlife, to preserve natural habitats. To learn more or to work with the Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust, call 800-729-SAVE. That's 800-729-SAVE, or visit wildlifelandtrust.org. Thank you.
And welcome back to the Global Campfire. As I mentioned earlier, our guest that we have with us today is Tanya-J-Peterson. Welcome back to the Campfire, Tanya.
Thanks, Lady Selah. I am really glad to be here, as always. I love the campfire.
Oh, thank you. And we appreciate you coming here and sharing your work with us. And you have such incredible books and actually a really niche market. Kind of very unique, don't you think?
Thanks. I think so. It's a market that I thought needed some attention. I deal with mental health and mental illness. It's just people underdevote attention to because it's misunderstood. So I'm trying to bring understanding to the topic and the people.
And I think you do that really, really well in your books. I know the first book that we really took a look at was Losing Elizabeth. And one of the things that I liked about it is you took a topic that, as you mentioned, people don't like to think about, they don't like to talk about, and it isn't addressed. And that was, what happens when youth or young adult, teens, get involved in a relationship that is unwholesome, unhealthy, can lead to domestic violence, physical abuse, emotional abuse. But you didn't just go from a doctor or a counselor, just nail in the facts and the information. You wrapped it into a wonderful story, very nicely done, where basically, these topics are a big pill that's difficult to swallow for a lot of people.
Definitely. Yes. They're uncomfortable.
Yes, absolutely. And so Losing Elizabeth, which is why you won the Marble Award, is just...
you.
You're welcome. And other awards, too. Yes, exactly. But you just really made it so well into the story and very relatable things. Parents could, read the book and say, this is what this looks like. These are the signs or the symptoms of this type of relationship. And I just think you did a beautiful job. But
thank you. That was my aim. There's a lot of great nonfiction, but I that doesn't give the human component with all my books. I want people to feel what it's like and to really understand so they can relate to themselves, to a loved one. And it's also, I want to entertain. I don't want to preach.
Yes. That's a really good point. And that's what is so unique about your books, is that you are teaching, but you do it in a fashion that people can digest it. It's not a textbook of facts where you're like, whoa, I got to 10 pages. I don't want to pick that up again. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I read plenty of those. And yeah, the everything kind of blurs. You get, well, these are great, but how does it apply to human beings? What does this mean for people in their lives?
Yes, absolutely. So share with our listeners. I could tell the story too, but I think it's best that authors, share with the listeners a preview. So let's start with the first one that we worked with, Losing Elizabeth. Give us a preview of what.
Sure. Losing Elizabeth is about high school junior Elizabeth Carter. Elizabeth is outgoing and she's confident. She's involved in her school. She's, taking classes. She's got good classes. She's got a goal for the future. But she's also a teenager, and she has crushes and likes, and a boy that she has liked, and she's admired, asks her out, and she's very excited about this, and all is good. She's got her friends. She's got her new boyfriend, but she gets stuck. This relationship is toxic, and she doesn't even realize it at first. Her boyfriend is Brad Evans, slowly takes control, and she becomes entwined. He's emotionally abusive, he's controlling, and she begins to lose herself. He takes over her life, and she loses the essence of who she is. And so the book is about toxic relationships, but it's also about identity. And as teens are developing this, that's a very important concept for them. And so in Losing Elizabeth, readers travel with Elizabeth on a road filled with joys and pain that ultimately is a search for love, for friendship, and identity.
Thank you. Very well said. I know that in the book, there's a lot of different aspects, not just for parents, but like you said, it really helps a young adult who is starting down that road of relationships be able to identify certain markers or boundaries.
Right.
And I liked that aspect. A young adult could take this book and learn from it in terms of, they're branching out into adulthood. They're going to involve themselves into more relationships with various different types of people. And it doesn't always have to be a romantic relationship.
Right.
As you learn with Brad, yes. As you learn with Brad, there were things in his life that were contributing factors. So I liked the fact that you could learn all these different aspects and how to identify when a relationship might be something that you want to reconsider, because as a young adult, you don't have the experience of older adults, and so you just simply do not know.
Exactly, and the signs, those markers that you refer to, are usually so subtle. They're insidious, and they happen over time. Nobody is going to get involved with somebody that walks up and punches them and hits them and puts them down. I mean, it's not, that would be a no-brainer. They wouldn't be involved, but it's sneaky. And they don't know the markers, and they happen so slowly. I saw this when I was a teacher and a counselor. People, they didn't realize it until it was too late, and then it's hard to get out.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that preview on Losing Elizabeth. And again, congratulations for the awards that you have received on that and the high reviews.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, we want to give everyone a preview of My Life in a Nutshell. Now, this is, I believe it's really a masterpiece. There is just a phenomenally woven story in here, but why don't you share with our listeners what My Life in a Nutshell is about?
Okay. My Life in a Nutshell, a novel, this one is for adults, and it's about, the main character is an adult, but there's a school age, a second grade girl. I just contrasting this with Losing Elizabeth. But in the story, the novel is a story of one man. His name is Brian. Brian struggles with debilitating anxiety. Anxiety is so common. And Brian lives with this extreme anxiety. He has severely isolated himself, and he's lonely, but he feels powerless to change his life. But unexpectedly, one day at work,